Before you ask your girlfriend or wife another question, you need to hear this. There are 5 specific questions that trigger an automatic lie response in women, and I'm about to reveal exactly why we can never, and will never, tell you the truth about them. What makes this even worse? Every woman you've ever asked these questions has lied to you. Your mother lied to your father. Your sister lies to her husband. Your female friends lie to their boyfriends. We all do it, and we've never talked about it until now. Before I reveal these female secrets that will change how you see every conversation forever, hit that subscribe button right now and smash the like. Drop your city in the comments because I want to see how far this uncomfortable truth spreads. This channel gives you the raw female psychology that no other woman will ever admit to. These aren't white lies or protecting your feelings. These are foundational deceptions that shape how you see us, how you trust us, and how you invest your emotional energy. Every relationship you've had has been built on these 5 lies. The first question we'll never answer honestly is the one that every man asks, but no woman has ever answered truthfully. And trust me, you don't want the real number. Question 1. How many men have you slept with? I've been asked this question by every serious boyfriend I've ever had. My real number is 23. The highest number I've ever admitted to is 8. The math should tell you everything you need to know about female honesty when it comes to our sexual history. We calculate our answers based on a complex formula that has nothing to do with truth and everything to do with relationship preservation. We consider your personality, your insecurities, your sexual experience, and your emotional maturity. Then we craft a number that makes you feel special without making you feel threatened. Conservative guys get numbers between 3 and 6. We tell them about the serious relationships and conveniently forget the college experimentation, the vacation hookups, and the one-night stands that didn't count. More experienced guys might hear 8 to 12. We include some of the casual encounters, but still hide the full scope of our sexual exploration. The female psychology behind this deception is sophisticated. We're not just protecting our image, we're protecting your ego and our relationship security. We know that most men say they want honesty, but the real number would haunt you every time you touched us. It would change how you see our responses during intimacy, how you interpret our sexual knowledge, and how special you feel about being chosen. We've learned to categorize our encounters in ways that allow us to minimize the count while maintaining our internal sense of honesty. That weekend with your friend doesn't count because we were drunk. The guy from the conference doesn't count because it was only once. The on and off relationship doesn't count as multiple partners because it was the same person over time. Our deflection strategies are well rehearsed. We respond to the question with counter-questions about why the past matters or accusations about your insecurity. We make you feel guilty for asking while simultaneously calculating our acceptable response. We turn your legitimate curiosity into a character flaw that we graciously overlook. The brutal truth is that if we hesitate, calculate, or get defensive when you ask this question, you should multiply whatever number we give you by at least 2.5. That will put you closer to reality. The woman who answers immediately with confidence is either very inexperienced or has rehearsed her lie so many times she believes it herself. We know this deception damages the foundation of trust in our relationships, but we've collectively decided that the truth damages it more. We'd rather manage your emotional response to a comfortable lie than deal with the consequences of overwhelming honesty. But that's just about our intimate past. The question about our sexual present that we'll take to our graves is even more dangerous to your peace of mind. Second question hits the core of every man's territorial instincts, and we know it. That's exactly why we'll never give you the honest answer that would make you lose sleep. Are you attracted to any of your male friends? I've had intimate thoughts about at least 4 of my current male friends. When my boyfriend asks if I'm attracted to any of them, I always respond with the most innocent expression I can manage, while denying any attraction whatsoever. The uncomfortable truth is that we are attracted to some of our male friends. We've imagined intimacy scenarios with them. We've wondered what it would be like to be with them instead of you. Some of these friendships exist specifically because of the underlying attraction, and we maintain them as backup options for our emotional and potentially physical future. We lie about this because an honest answer would require you to accept an impossible situation. You'd want us to cut contact with half our social circle. It would poison every future interaction you have with these men. You'd analyze every text message, every laugh, every inside joke, every time we defend them or make plans to see them. Our internal reality is far more complex than we'll ever admit. That guy friend we're just friends with, he's attractive, successful, funny, and has made it clear he's interested. Do we think about what would happen if we were single? Of course. Do we enjoy the attention and the subtle flirtation? Absolutely. Will we ever admit that to you? Never. We've perfected the art of deflecting this inquiry. We respond with phrases like, "I've never thought of him that way. He's like a brother," or "We're just friends, you're being paranoid." We flip the script to make your concerns seem unreasonable rather than addressing the legitimate basis for your worry. The female strategy is sophisticated. We keep attractive male friends as backup options while maintaining plausible deniability about our intentions. We use your trust as permission to continue questionable relationships. We frame your natural protective instincts as jealousy and insecurity. We maintain these friendships through careful boundary management that creates the appearance of innocence while preserving the underlying attraction. We avoid being alone with them when you're around, but seek private conversations when you're not. We downplay their attractiveness when talking to you, but dress carefully when we know we'll see them. The reality is that if we had zero attraction to our male friends, we'd have no problem creating clear boundaries with them. Our resistance to your concerns is your answer. Our defensiveness about maintaining these relationships tells you everything you need to know about their true nature. We know that admitting attraction to our male friends would fundamentally change how you view our loyalty and commitment. So we protect the comfortable fiction that allows us to maintain these relationships while keeping you secure in your position. But male friends are just potential threats. The next question reveals something even more dangerous: the truth about our emotional state right now. Question number 3, are you happy in our relationship? This might be the most dangerous question you can ask a woman, because our honest answer could end everything you think you're building together. I've told 3 different boyfriends that I was happy when I was already planning my exit strategy. We don't just lie about our current happiness, we lie about our future intentions, our level of satisfaction, and our commitment to making things work. This question terrifies us because admitting unhappiness means we have to do something about it. It opens a conversation we're not ready to have. It forces us to confront our own emotional confusion and dissatisfaction. It might trigger changes we don't want to make yet, or demands for effort we're not willing to give. We operate on different levels of dishonesty when answering this question. When we say, "I'm perfectly happy," it usually means we have major problems we're hiding from you. "I'm mostly happy" translates to serious doubts we're not sharing. "I'm happy enough" means we're already emotionally checking out. When we admit to having some concerns, we already have one foot out the door. The female psychology behind this deception is complex. We don't just lie to you, we lie to ourselves. It's easier to pretend everything is fine than to face the emotional work of fixing serious problems or ending relationships that no longer serve us. What we're really thinking when you ask this question is far removed from our verbal responses. We're comparing you to other options constantly. We're wondering if we settled too quickly, or if this is actually the life we want. We're fantasizing about different scenarios, different partners, different futures that don't include you. We manage your perception of our happiness through careful performance. We post about our relationship on social media to create the appearance of contentment. We talk about future plans we have no intention of keeping. We fake enthusiasm for activities and conversations that actually bore us. we hide our emotional distance behind busy schedules and external stresses. When we finally admit we're unhappy, we've usually been feeling this way for months or even years. By the time we're ready to discuss relationship problems, we've already emotionally moved on. The conversation about our happiness is often the beginning of the end, not an opportunity for renewal. We start expressing dissatisfaction only when we're ready to leave or when we've found something better. We use your question about our happiness as an opening to begin the narrative that will justify our eventual departure. We've already written the story of why this relationship didn't work. We're just waiting for the right time to share it. The warning signs are there if you know how to read them. We delay our responses when you ask about happiness. We give generic answers that could apply to any relationship. We deflect to talk about external stressors instead of relationship satisfaction. We compare your relationship to others constantly, always finding you lacking in the comparison. But questioning our happiness in the present is nothing compared to the next question, which forces us to reveal truths about our loyalty that we'll protect at all costs. Question number 4. Have you ever emotionally cheated? This question hits too close to the truth, because emotional cheating is how most affairs actually start, and we know that our honest answer would make you question every friendship, every conversation, and every private moment we've ever had. I've emotionally cheated in every serious relationship I've been in. Deep conversations with other men, sharing problems I didn't share with my boyfriend, developing feelings I never acted on physically. When asked directly, I've always denied it completely. We'll never admit to emotional cheating because it feels worse to men than physical cheating. It reveals that our hearts and minds were elsewhere while we were pretending to be committed to you. It destroys trust in our female friendships and work relationships. It proves that affairs don't just happen, they develop over time through deliberate emotional investment in other people. Our definition of emotional cheating differs dramatically from yours. You think emotional cheating is sharing intimate thoughts with other men. We think emotional cheating only counts if we act on the feelings physically. You consider it cheating when we seek emotional support elsewhere. We consider it friendship until something sexual happens. Emotional affairs begin with innocent conversations that gradually become more personal and intimate. He listens better than you do. He understands problems you don't relate to. He makes us feel seen in ways we've forgotten were possible. The emotional connection develops so gradually that we can rationalize each step as harmless friendship. Our justification process is sophisticated. We tell ourselves we're just friends talking about life. He gives good advice about work problems. We can't help it if he understands us better than our partners do. Nothing physical has happened, so nothing wrong is occurring. These rationalizations allow us to maintain emotional affairs while preserving our self-image as faithful partners. What we hide from you is the full scope of our emotional investment in these relationships. We have late-night text conversations that feel more intimate than romantic interactions with you. We share relationship problems with other men instead of working through them with you. We look forward to conversations with specific men more than we anticipate talks with you. We compare you unfavorably to men who get us better. We wonder why you can't be more like them. We fantasize about what relationships with them would be like. We develop emotional dependence on their attention and validation while taking yours for granted. Our deflection strategies are well practiced. We respond with complete denial and often turn the question back on you. We express disbelief that you would accuse us of such behavior. We make your question seem paranoid and hurtful rather than addressing the legitimate concerns behind it. The truth about our male friends is that every man in our life started as someone we found attractive or interesting in some way. We don't maintain friendships with men we have zero attraction to. The emotional connection exists because the potential for more exists, even if we never intend to act on it. If we get angry instead of providing reassurance when you ask this question, we're protecting something important to us. An innocent woman welcomes the opportunity to ease your concerns about her loyalty and emotional investment. But emotional cheating is still something we can rationalize as innocent. The final question reveals the one truth that would destroy not just our relationship, but our entire self-image. Question number 5. Do you still think about your ex? This is the question that cuts to the core of every woman's secret emotional life, because the truth is, we never fully get over men who marked us deeply, and admitting that would shatter the fantasy of your unique importance in our lives. I think about my ex-boyfriend at least once a week, sometimes during intimate moments with my current partner. I've never admitted this to anyone, and the shame of it makes me lie more convincingly every time I'm asked. The uncomfortable female truth is that we do still think about our exes, especially the ones who got away. Some exes remain emotional benchmarks for all future relationships. We compare your performance, your personality, your potential to theirs. Certain exes retain a permanent place in our fantasy life, regardless of our current relationship status. This question represents relationship suicide because it reveals that you're not the only man in our emotional world. It proves that our past still influences our present in ways that diminish your importance. It destroys the illusion that you're our greatest love story and opens questions about our true commitment and satisfaction. We think about different exes for different reasons. The one who got away makes us wonder what life would have been like if circumstances had been different. The best sexual partner makes us miss physical connections we may never experience again. The one who understood us emotionally makes us long for that specific type of connection. The life we almost had makes us question our current choices. We think about them during arguments with you, wondering if they would handle situations better. We remember them during boring routine moments, recalling the excitement we felt in those relationships. Sometimes we think about them during intimate moments, comparing physical experiences. We wonder about their current lives when we see their social media updates. Our internal justification for these thoughts is that thinking isn't cheating. Everyone has a past. These are just memories, not current intentions. We convince ourselves that these thoughts don't affect our current relationships, even when they clearly do. We hide these thoughts carefully. We delete our search history when we look them up online. We never mention when we run into them or hear about them through mutual friends. We pretend we don't remember details about our past relationships. We act like they no longer exist in our emotional landscape while privately maintaining detailed memories of our time together. Our deflection responses are automatic. We ask why we would think about someone who's in our past. We claim you're the only man we think about now. We remind you that past relationships ended for good reasons. We make you feel insecure for asking about people who supposedly don't matter anymore. The female psychology behind this deception is our ability to compartmentalize our emotional experiences. We can genuinely love you while maintaining emotional connections to past relationships. But admitting this would make you feel like you're competing with ghosts, which would fundamentally change the dynamic of our relationship. Now that you know we'll never answer these questions honestly, here's how to protect yourself from emotional manipulation while still maintaining your relationship. Watch our behavior instead of listening to our words. Pay attention to how we act around male friends versus how we describe those relationships. Notice whether our actions match our claims about relationship satisfaction. Observe if our investment in the relationship matches our stated happiness levels. The man who stops asking these questions and starts observing our behavior becomes immediately more attractive. It shows you're not desperate for our validation of your security in the relationship. Don't use these questions as relationship tests. We know these are loaded questions designed to trap us. Asking them doesn't reveal the truth. It reveals your insecurity. And female psychology loses respect for men who need constant reassurance through interrogation. Focus on what you can control. Work on your own attractiveness and value as a partner. Maintain standards for how you're treated. Be willing to walk away if behavior doesn't match words. Build a life that doesn't depend on our validation for your self-worth. I just destroyed the foundation of trust that every relationship is built on. But here's the thing. That foundation was already broken. I just showed you the cracks you couldn't see. You can never unknow what I just told you. Every conversation you have from now on, you'll remember these 5 questions and wonder what else we're not telling you. And honestly, you should wonder. Stop expecting honesty from questions that have never received honest answers. Start building relationships based on actions, not words. Start trusting your instincts instead of our explanations. If this video opened your eyes to truths you've been sensing but couldn't name, hit subscribe now. Share this with one man who needs to hear it, but be prepared for the conversations it will start. Comment below if you've asked these questions and got the responses I described. Let's see how many men recognize these patterns.